Yeah, I think we are good.
Look good. Alright. This is BCC. I'm Connor Whittle.
Kevin Kolda.
Mark Fuller.
So Baylor Class Connect. It's an application/tool used by students to rate their current teachers, view reviews of future teachers, and contact previous students who've had those teachers for that specific class. This is roughly what we're envisioning our application to look like. So first of all, you have to make an account, so you're going to enter your email and your password, and then you're going to enter your classes taken, and you're going to sign up. And then here's our sign-in page. This is our home page. You're going to have the option to search by class for computer science classes, and then you're also going to have the option to search by professor, and each one will have, for the class list, it'll have all the professors that are teaching that class. For the professor, it'll have all the classes that professor is teaching. This is our teacher list. So this is all the classes they teach, the rating per class, and the number of reviews that teacher has for that specific class. This is our class list. It'll have all the teachers, the ratings for that teacher for that class, and the number of reviews as well. And this is the interface for when you're at the specific class for a specific teacher. You'll have their score, overall score, an average of helpfulness, teaching ability, and workload. It'll have specific reviews that you can upvote and downvote based on reliability. You can contact the student that wrote the review directly for advice/follow-up. And yeah, and we'll have a back button to go back to search other teachers, and the email for the specific professor right in the top corner. And this is our message board that we're planning on making between students.
Yeah, so students can talk to one another about classes and professors, get information directly.
And this is the user homepage. You can see your review history right there, all your upvotes and downvotes. You can log out in the top right-hand corner. You can message other students back, and you can go back to the homepage from there.
So right here is our list of initial requirements. These are functional and non-functional requirements. We made these during this inception phase to start determining what we want our application to do. I won't go through all these in detail due to time constraints, but one example is that our user needs to be able to register an account. They need to be able to search classes and professors and then write reviews. That's like the bare bones of what it needs to do. And then we also want it to, like a non-functional requirement is we want it to be anonymous. So we want a student to be able to submit a review anonymously or not have their contact information out there. So that's just something on the back end we're going to make sure happens. But this is initially what we're going to try to fulfill based on our application.
This is our use case diagram. As you can see, we have the two actors. We have an admin that's going to monitor all the reviews, and then we have the user, and everything hinges around them making an account and then logging in. And then the rest of the use cases are extended by logging in.
All right, so here's our use case list. It's on our GitHub.
Oh, stop.
Oh, it didn't. Is that working?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is our use case list. It's held up on our GitHub. So some of the first use case that we fully fleshed out was make an account. This one's going to be taken care of by Kevin. It starts off with just loading up the application. You fill out some of the information that it requests, and then you save the information, and it'll allow you to log in. Next use case that we fleshed out was leave a review. This is going to be taken care of by me. This is essentially you need to have valid login credentials, and then as you navigate through the application using the select teacher or select class text boxes, once you get to a specific class and teacher, you can select the add review, type in your review, and then select next. And then the final fleshed out use case was you're going to be able to contact a student. So similar to the previous use case, you will navigate to a specific teacher's class or reviews for a class. Similarly, you need to have a valid login, and then you're going to hit contact student next to a specific review. This will bring up a dialog page that you can type your message to them, and then it'll message the other user.
And that one's going to be done by me.
That'll be taken care of by Connor.
And then we have
Some
all
of
of
our-
the other character use cases.
The rest of our use cases: edit review, delete account. You can flag a comment if you think it's inappropriate, and then you can read a review that other people have liked and log out.
We also want to put that up there so you see our GitHub. All of our project and our presentations on GitHub.
This is our traceability matrix to make sure that all the use cases at least handle one requirement, and all the requirements are hit by our use cases.
This is the first of our system sequence diagrams for all of our use cases. This one is the contact student. So we made these during this inception phase to start planning how we're going to implement all of our use cases in our application. So here we have a user looking at a message. They want to view that message, and then they want to click a link to contact the student. The student who wrote the message, their email will be stored in our application. And then that's going to go to this message board, the other student, and then that student will be able to read it and then respond in this kind of parallel message board that's going to be in-app. So this is our first implementation, and I won't go through all the rest of them in detail for time, but Mark, you start scrolling through. Like we have our delete account, we have flag comment, we have leave review, log in, log out, make account, rate review, and read review. Oh, no, that's one, respond to message. So we're just starting to think through how we're going to implement our applications. Once we start programming and building this in Java, everything will work correctly. And finally, here's our operations. We have over 70 operations so far from our system sequence diagrams. Here's just a little snippet. Check username, check password, populate class list, populate professor list, send message, and view message. If I put all of them up here, it would look just like a mess. But just think through that. Here's our domain model. Trying to, again, think about how our entities, how our actors are going to be interacting on this site, on this application, to make sure the code all flows together. Everything's kind of centered around the user, won't go through this in detail, but we're just trying to make sure that everything is set up correctly so when we start coding, it all links together well. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.